Good morning, good afternoon, good evening across this great wide world of ours. I went to a video and you might hear the bark every now and then. On We hear the word active listening, we hear the word being active in life, an active lifestyle. But I want to use the word today and use the word in active learning. And what I mean by active learning, we can look at this in a different light, I should say, is that we see, we go to grade school, then we go to junior high, then we go to high school, and then we go to college. We come out at 24, 25, and go to work. And I've been thinking about this, and I've read some articles before about this. Maybe this issue of education or the premises of education is maybe, where do we go from there? And the issue becomes people come out and their values and their things change. And then when that happens, we get an issue of doing a job that's routine or whatever. And really, are they doing what they really intend to do? In other words, are they doing something that, they intend? And my thing is, and I'm more of a, what I call a Renaissance man, or person that always is achieving more knowledge, and more knowledge. And not necessarily, that's not the case with a lot of people. But the point I'm making here is, in the case of me, I'm taking a couple courses because I want to learn more about the law, and all, especially my interest is in water rights, especially for Native Americans. I wrote about water quality on reservations, and it's available on Amazon. But there was a lot of issues that I had to look up, some things that when I wrote it that I had to weren't clear, so I had to stop, look the issues up, water rights, etc. And then my thinking about it once I published it on Amazon is like, there's a lot of issues there that need to go, especially in the American Southwest. And when we're dealing with Native American people out in the Southwest, it's not necessarily a case east of the Mississippi where not so many issues, but for instance, the Ohio Valley a few weeks back, we hit an extreme drought area. Not saying we do have Native American people, folks around here, but the point is it wasn't such a dire need of water, because we got Ohio River to Little Miami, Big Miami, other tributaries, that it wasn't such a dire need. But out west, it's such an arid west. There's issues on that. But anyway, my point is this active learning is when we do this active learning, we need to first keep an open mind. In other words, what are we trying to achieve? Case in point for me is just learning more about water rights, water concerns, etc. And moving things forward in a direction that keeping an open mind. In other words, a lot of times when I finish my PhD, what I realize there's a lot of things I don't know, but I'm willing to learn about, because the fact of it, I'm the old cliche person that knows a lot realizes there's a lot they still don't know. So the issue becomes keeping an open mind and finding the rationale or the reasons behind moving things forward. The second point is keeping a positive attitude. You got to keep a positive attitude. Case in point, thinking of course on water rights, and of course on contract law. And the point is, I can only say, oh, this is over my head. I don't know if I know all the information, and that's okay. What you do is you keep a positive attitude, you move forward, and you just move forward. In other words, you can't get negative about it. And I have issues about that. In other words, if you keep a positive attitude about it, necessarily you won't quit. And when I was younger, that would become an issue. Something would become hard for me is that I would quit it and not necessarily fight it like a bull and move forward with it. So, and I learned that with the PhD. There was numerous times I would say, "Oh, this is bullshit. I don't have time. I don't understand this. Move forward." Case in point, I wrote something a couple last week for attorney on contracts, and I had no clue what I was writing on, and I persevered on it, and I actually did better than I thought because the fact was I would look up the material and would find out what I needed to know, and his issue was a lot of people give up, when I talked to him. And he said, and then they just put in filler words without really trying to persevere. And that was a challenge for me, and a point to where I kept a positive attitude about it and just moved forward. And it's tough because really, as you get older, you go by past experiences. And like I said, when I was younger, I would not be able to do things because the fact of the matter was I gave up on them. And, there's just shoulda, woulda, coulda things, but that's not necessarily the case anymore. You just persevere and move forward, but just you play with those. Paul used to say he had a thorn in the flesh, and I think some of that had to do with a negative attitude as well. And you get negative attitudes in your mind, then you have issues of what do I do and how do I overcome that. And it can be a struggle every day. And thirdly, the issue is willing to step out of your comfort zone, and that's part of this issue. When it comes down to the positive, and you have to be willing to step out of your comfort zone to grow. And I think this was an issue when I was younger. Instead of growing as a person, I would just quit and say, "Oh, whatever." And then I would not grow personally wise. And then I realized into my 40s, 50s that there were issues that I needed to do, that I was stepping out of my comfort zone, and I needed to do that to succeed. There's issues that, for instance, when I was a quality inspector forester out west for Rocky Mountain Power, I ended up quitting that job. And in essence, here again, I quit a job that I really didn't necessarily needed to do, and it would be a different story. Case in point, though, I was working for a nonprofit, and they were getting rid of the position. And even though I somewhat liked the nonprofit, I was really like a fish out of water. It wasn't a good fit for me. And since the position was getting rid of, I ended up whether they're saying I quit, and the reason was the position didn't exist anymore. But it was more or less and it's still to this day, a push out the door, and I will contend with that. And that's something I argued with a few people about it. But that's water over the dam, is the old cliche is, and so you move forward, and you are willing to step out of your comfort zone and grow. So that becomes an issue as to what you want to do, and you got to do that because you're going to struggle out of that. And I learned that, and there was a case. I was reading this book on ethics and the issue on you're going to have hard decisions, and there's always that cliche again, going down a slippery slope. So the issue becomes not necessarily going down a slippery slope, but it's just sticking to your morals or your character. And that's another issue of mine that's been in the past. Even though I know that I've done quite a bit over my lifetime. There's still a lot of stuff that I needed to pursue and follow through. Anyway, these are some food for thoughts. And like I said, it's the issues, the act of learning is keep an open mind, keep a positive avenue, and willing to step out of your comfort zone. And that's how you grow as a person. But that's how you keep your active learning, keeps your mind going and everything. So with that said, feel free to email me at bthomasmillerpsych@gmail.com. Have any other questions, feel free to reach out to me. Also, please like and subscribe at the bottom of the channel. Helps my algorithm. Though I don't, it is a monetary channel. I'm not really making a lot of money on it. And like I told somebody, the intent here is to educate and inform people. Education and inform are almost the same thing. But it's a issue to bring about issues that help people keep a positive attitude in life. Anyway, folks, I hope to talk to you real soon and have a great day. Bye.